Hello viewers, I am Deepti again with a very important topic for ICSE class 10 biology, and it is related with important functions and location of different organs covered in ICSE class 10. So starting with plant physiology, first is lenticels and location is on the surface of old woody stems, and function is exchange of photosynthetic and respiratory gases. In the same sequence, the next is cuticle and the location is wax-like covering on epidermis of leaves and green stems. And function is check the loss of water by preventing ट्रांसपिरेशन को रोकेगा, जिसकी वजह से आपका जो लॉस ऑफ वाटर है वो रिड्यूस हो जाएगा. नेक्स्ट ऑर्गन इज मेसोफिल सेल्स एंड देयर लोकेशन इज बिटवीन द epidermis cell of leaf, and function is traps light energy with the chloroplast present in them for photosynthesis. Next is cambium. Its location is below the bark of the tree and function is increases the girth of the stem, means diameter of the stem. Next is xylem. Its location is veins of leaf, stem and leaves, or you can say innermost part of vascular bundles, and its function is conduct water from roots to the aerial parts of the plant. Next is phloem and its location is found in the veins of leaf, stem and leaves, or you can say periphery of vascular bundles, and its function is translocates the prepared food in the leaves to the storage organs. क्योंकि food prepare कहाँ हुआ है leaves के पास, लेकिन जाएगा कहाँ, पूरे plant के पास, upward direction में भी और downward direction में भी. So this is the function of phloem. Next is hydatodes and location special openings on the leaf margins. फंक्शन इज गटेशन, और आपको गटेशन का मीनिंग एक्सप्लेन करना आता है, डेफिनेशन आपने देनी है. नेक्स्ट ऑर्गन इज गार्ड सेल्स. लोकेशन ऑन द अंडर सरफेस ऑफ लीफ. लीफ का अंडर सरफेस ज्यादा है, बिटवीन द एपिडर्मल सेल्स, और यू कैन से ऑन ईदर साइड ऑफ स्टोमा, एंड देयर फंक्शन इज टू रेगुलेट द ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग ऑफ द स्टोमा. नेक्स्ट इज क्लोरोप्लास्ट. Its location is in the cytoplasm of green plant cells. And next is function. It traps light energy with the help of chlorophyll present in them for photosynthesis. We all know that chlorophyll is present in green plant cells only. Next is thylakoids, or you can also say grana. Its location is closely packed flattened sacs present in chloroplast. And function is site of light reaction. Stroma. Next structure is colorless ground substance present in the chloroplast, and function site of light independent reaction. यहाँ पर dark reaction नहीं लिखना है, light independent reaction. Next is stoma. Their location is minute openings in the epidermal layer surrounded by guard cells occurring in large number on the lower surface of dorsiventral leaf, and their function is diffusion of photosynthetic and respiratory gases, or you can say transpiration. तो transpiration से हमारे साथ ये जुड़ा हुआ है स्ट्रोमा फंक्शन भी. So, आपको पता चल गया होगा कि किस तरह से हमने इनकी लोकेशन और फंक्शन को एसोसिएट करना है. Next structure is pulvinus and its location is at the base of petiole, and function is pulvinus when turgid holds the petiole up, but when touched and loses turgidity resulting in drooping of leaf, मतलब wilting of leaf, तो मुरझा जाएगा. अगर turgid होगा तो petiole उसको hold करके रखेगा. Next structure is root hairs, and then location is extensions of the epidermal cells of the root, and their function is increases surface area for greater absorption of water by the root. Now coming to structure of chromosomes, cell cycle and cell division chapter. So here First structure is chromatin fibers and location is in the nucleus of a non-dividing cell, and its function is to compress the DNA into a compact unit so that it can fit within the nucleus. So chromatin fiber बहुत पास पास compress हुआ होता है ना, आपने देखा है उसके अंदर, so that it can fit inside the nucleus. Next is chromosomes. Location is condensed coiled chromatin fibers seen during cell division, and their function is they carry DNA and transfer the genetic information from parents to offsprings. Next is centromere. Location is point of attachment of two sister chromatids, जो बीच में आप छोटा सा सर्कल देखते हैं. Function is attaches each chromosome to the spindle fiber during metaphase, or you can say centromere divide the two sister chromatids are pulled apart toward the opposite poles during anaphase. तो आप मेटाफेज और एनाफेज दोनों के लिए इनके फंक्शन दे सकते हैं. Next is centrosome, a region surrounding the centrioles located near the nucleus of an animal cell. This is the location, and function is it initiates and regulates cell division. Next is esters. Esters location is radiating rays surrounding the centriole, and function is forms the spindle fibers. Next structure is spindle fibers, and their location is between the two daughter centrioles. Function is spindle fibers shorten during anaphase so that the two sister chromatids are pulled apart toward the opposite poles. क्योंकि यही स्पिंडल फाइबर जब श्रिंक हो जाएंगे, शॉर्टन हो जाएंगे, तभी तो वो पुल करेगा उनको. नेक्स्ट इज chiasma. Their location is X-shaped structure formed between the non-sister chromatids of the paired homologous chromosome during crossing over, and their function is genetic recombination takes place at the chiasma during crossing over. Next is genes. Their location is segment of DNA on the chromosome, and their function is determine hereditary characteristics. ये तो आपको पता ही है genes क्या करते हैं. Next structure is pericheiron, or you can say cyton or cell body. Their location is proximal part of a neuron, and their function is regulating the metabolism of a neuron. Dendrites. Location cytoplasmic projections of cyton, or you can say pericheiron, and their function is it receives nerve impulses and conduct it to the cyton. Axon. Location long process from the cell body, and function conducts nerve impulses away from the cyton. सबसे लॉन्गेस्ट पार्ट है, उसी को हम एक्सॉन कहते हैं, और फंक्शन क्या है, वो कंडक्ट करेगा नर्व इंपल्सेस को साइटोन से अवे लेके जाएगा. माइलिन शीथ. लोकेशन कवरिंग सराउंडिंग द एक्सॉन, एंड देयर फंक्शन प्रिवेंट्स द मिक्सिंग ऑफ नर्व इंपल्सेस, इंक्रीजेस द स्पीड ऑफ नर्व इंपल्स कंडक्शन, जितनी जल्दी जल्दी मैसेज ब्रेन तक और ब्रेन से आएगा और जाएगा. नॉड्स ऑफ रेनवियर. Location is the gaps between the myelin sheath, and function is increases the speed of nerve impulse conduction. Next structure is neurolemma. Their location is surrounding the myelin sheath, and their function it protects the axon. Terminal branches, or you can say axon terminals, their location is posterior end of the axon, and their function it receives nerve impulses conducted through the axon and transmit it to the dendrites of the next neuron. एक की खत्म होगी तभी तो दूसरे की dendrites तक मैसेज जा पाएगा. Next structure is synaptic bulb, and their location is swollen ends at the distal end of the terminal branches of axon. Their function contains chemicals called neurotransmitters, जिसको हम acetylcholine कहते हैं. When the nerve impulse reaches the terminal branches, neurotransmitters are released by the synaptic bulb. Next is neurotransmitters. Their location found in the synaptic bulb, and function is neurotransmitters are released into the synapse by the synaptic bulb. These chemicals are responsible for transmission of nerve impulses from the terminal branches of axon of one neuron to the dendrites of next neuron. Next structure is synapse, and their location is the junction between the terminal branches of axon of one neuron and the dendrites of the adjacent neuron. Their function: neurotransmitters are released into the synapse, which sets a new impulse in the dendrite of the adjacent neuron. Next is synaptic cleft, a space separating the terminal branches of axon of one neuron and the dendrite of the adjacent neuron. कभी भी वो डायरेक्ट टच में नहीं होते, इस तरह से एक स्पेस होती है कि एक के डेंड्राइट्स आएंगे तभी हम दूसरे के एक्सॉन तक पहुंच पाएंगे, या एक्सॉन से डेंड्राइट तक ब्रांच उसकी आएगी. Next function is neurotransmitters are released into the synaptic cleft, which sets a new impulse in the dendrite of the adjacent neuron. Next is sensory neuron. It extends from receptors, or you can say sense organ, to central nervous system, and function is transmits nerve impulse of stimuli received from the sense organs to brain or spinal cord. Next is motor neuron. Location extends from the central nervous system to the effector. Effector क्या होती है? Muscle or gland. And then function is transmit nerve impulses for response from CNS, or you can say central nervous system, to the effector or muscle or gland. And next is association neuron. Their location is found in the spinal cord and brain, and their function is interconnect the sensory neuron and the motor neuron. Now coming to the topic brain, meninges. Meninges, their location outer protecting membranous covering of the brain, and their function tough layer, hence protects the internal delicate parts of the brain. It means it contains blood vessels, so nourishes the brain also. So two functions are there. Next is dura mater. Their location outermost tough fibrous membrane of the meninges, and then function protects the internal delicate parts of the brain. Arachnoid, their location thin delicate middle membrane of the meninges. Function forms a web-like cushion protecting the internal delicate part of the brain. Next is pia mater, innermost highly vascular layer of the meninges, सबसे अंदर वाली, and function it contains blood vessels and so nourishes the brain. Next is cerebrospinal fluid, found between the layers of the meninges and central spaces of the brain and central canal of the spinal cord, and their function serves as a shock absorber, maintains constant pressure in and around the brain, helps in exchange of nutrients and waste products between nerve tissues and bloods. Next coming to parts of brain. Now cerebrum, cerebrum में location हो जाएगा, part of the forebrain is the largest part of the brain, and function is it is the seat of intelligence, memory, thinking, reasoning and emotions, center for perception of stimuli for vision, smell, taste and hearing. All voluntary activities are initiated in the cerebrum. All these functions are related with cerebrum, क्योंकि आपको पता है वो हमारा largest part है brain का. Next is corpus callosum. So location is sheet of fibers present between the two cerebral hemispheres, and their function transmits nerve impulses from the right cerebral hemisphere to the left cerebral hemisphere. Next is diencephalon, made up of hypothalamus and thalamus. Location, hypothalamus की location in the forebrain below the thalamus, और thalamus की location in the forebrain above the hypothalamus. वो उसके नीचे है और वो उसके ऊपर है. And function is hypothalamus controls pituitary gland, sleeping and waking patterns, hunger and thirst, also regulates body temperature. And thalamus relays the pain and pressure impulses to the cerebrum. Next is midbrain, their location between the anterior and posterior part of the brain. And their function, it relays sensory impulses from the spinal cord to the thalamus, and at the same time it relays motor impulses from the thalamus to the spinal cord. Next, related with hindbrain, cerebellum. Cerebellum's location is part of hindbrain, located at the base and under the cerebrum, and their function coordinates the movements of the skeletal muscles and maintains the body balance. Pons in the center of hindbrain below cerebellum. Function transmits nerve impulses across the two lobes of the cerebellum, thus ensuring a coordination of muscular movements on both sides of the body. Next is medulla oblongata. Their location part of hindbrain, lowest portion of the brain at the base of the skull. And their function controls the involuntary activities such as breathing and heartbeat, controls peristaltic movements of the alimentary canal. Next is spinal cord, extends from medulla of brain and ends at the second lumbar vertebra. Function controls reflexes below the neck or conducts sensory impulses from the skin and muscles to the brain, conducts motor responses from the brain to the muscles of the trunk and limbs. Now coming to next sense organ, it means eye. So first is lacrimal glands. Lacrimal glands को हम tear glands के नाम से भी जानते हैं. Their location at the upper sideward portion of the orbit of eye, side में है. Function secretes tears, cleanses the eye by washing away foreign substances that may enter the eye. Next is conjunctiva. Their location is covering the entire front surface of the eye, continues with the inner lining of the eyelids, and their function is protects the surface of eyes. Next is sclera, outermost white layer of eyeball, provides protection and maintains the shape of eyeball. Next is cornea, anterior bulging and transparent part of sclera, refracts the light rays as they pass through it. Next is choroid, location middle layer of the eye, inner to the sclera. Function contains melanin which prevents the light rays from reflecting and scattering inside the eyeball. At the same time, richly supplied with blood vessels for providing nourishment to the eye. क्यों हमें कहा जाता है कि हमें ये खाना चाहिए, ये हमारी आंखों के लिए अच्छा है, ताकि ब्लड के थ्रू वो न्यूट्रिशन हमारी आई तक पहुंचेगा. Next is iris, location and extension of the choroid, partially covering the lens, leaving a circular opening in the center, means pupil. Function, it regulates the amount of light entering the eyeball by increasing or decreasing the diameter of the pupil. It gives color to the eye. Next is pupil, opening seen in the center of the iris in front of eye lens. This is the correct location of it. And then function, it admits light rays into the eyeball. Next is ciliary body, swollen portion of the choroid at the junction of the choroid and iris. Function, ciliary muscles alter the shape of the eye lens for accommodation. Alter means उसको thin कर देगा तो increase हो जाएगी, decrease हो जाएगी, तो उसकी shape को change करेगा of the eye lens for accommodation. Next is suspensory ligaments. Location extends from the ciliary muscles to the eye lens, and their function, hold the eye lens in position along with ciliary muscles, alter the shape of the eye lens फॉर एकोमोडेशन। तो दोनों मिलकर ही एकोमोडेशन में हमारी हेल्प करते हैं, सिलियरी बॉडी और लिगामेंट उसके साथ होता है सस्पेंसरी लिगामेंट। तो अगर कोई ऐसा एमसीक्यू भी आता है तो आपने ध्यान से पढ़ना है कि वो क्या पूछ रहे हैं, सिलियरी बॉडी और लिगामेंट का नाम अगर पूछेंगे तो सस्पेंसरी। नेक्स्ट इज रेटिना। Retina, innermost layer of eyeball adhering to the choroid and ending at the edge of the ciliary body. It is the photosensitive layer of the eye, provides the screen for image formation. जैसे हम फिजिक्स में रे डायग्राम्स पढ़ते हैं तो स्क्रीन होगा तो इमेज फॉर्म होगी, यहाँ पर ये स्क्रीन भगवान ने हमें दिया है आई के अंदर, जिसको हम रेटिना कहते हैं। उसके अंदर के पार्ट्स में रॉड्स may contain pigment called rhodopsin. Their location present at the periphery of retina and respond to low light intensity and so enable vision in dim light. And cones, their location is present mainly at the yellow spot, जो हमारा best vision point है, and they are specialized for color vision or for vision in bright light, you can say. अगर पिगमेंट की बात होगी तो आयोडोप्सिन प्रेजेंट इन कोन्स, रोडोप्सिन प्रेजेंट इन रॉड्स। नेक्स्ट इज ऑप्टिक नर्व। देयर लोकेशन लीव्स द आई एट द ब्लाइंड स्पॉट एंड रीचेस द occipital center of the brain. And next function is transmits nerve impulses from the sensory cells, rods and cones of the retina to the visual area of the cerebrum for the interpretation. Next is lens, located behind the iris and pupil, supported by suspensory ligaments. Function, refracts and focuses the light rays on the retina. Clear vision of both far and near object is obtained due to its ability to change its focal length with the help of ciliary muscles and suspensory ligaments. Next is aqueous humor. In the aqueous chamber between the eye lens and the cornea, and their function keeps the eye lens moist and protected from mechanical shocks. At the same time helps in refraction of light rays. Vitreous humor. In the vitreous chamber between the lens and the retina, maintains the shape of the eyeball and protects the retina and its nerve endings. Yellow spot on the retina in line with the horizontal axis of the eyeball. Function, it is the region of brightest, sharpest and colored vision as it contains the highest concentration of cones. तो कोन से कलर विजन सी से आपने याद रखना है और वो येलो स्पॉट पे सबसे ज्यादा प्रेजेंट होते हैं, इसीलिए हमारा बेस्ट विजन पॉइंट येलो स्पॉट होता है। नेक्स्ट इज ब्लाइंड स्पॉट, lateral to the yellow spot on the nasal side where the optic nerve leaves the eyeball. So this is an area of no vision since rods and cones are absent here. वहाँ है ही नहीं तो vision वहाँ होगा ही नहीं. That is why it is known as blind spot. Now coming to next sensory organ, it means ear. So ear pinna on both sides of the head. Function, collect sound waves and direct it to the auditory canal. Next is auditory canal. Location extends from pinna to the tympanum and function, direct sound waves to the eardrum or you can say tympanum. Now next organ is tympanum or you can say eardrum of ear, stretched tightly between the external and middle ear. टिम्पैनम बेसिकली मेम्ब्रेन है। जैसे आपने कोई भी म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट देखे होंगे जो मेम्ब्रेन वाले होते हैं, अगर मेम्ब्रेन टाइट नहीं होगे तो वो काम कैसे करेंगे। तो ये भी स्ट्रेच्ड टाइटली बिटवीन द एक्सटर्नल एंड मिडल ईयर अटैच्ड टू द मैलियस, जो हमारी इनर आ जाएगी अभी बोन। फंक्शन इज व्हेन साउंड वेव स्ट्राइक इट सरफेस, द सरफेस ऑफ ईयर ड्रम वाइब्रेट करेगी। दीज साउंड वाइब्रेशंस आर देन ट्रांसमिटेड टू द मिडल ईयर। Now coming to middle ear, first of all ear ossicles made up of three small bones, malleus, incus and stapes. So malleus location is hammer shaped, its handle rests on tympanum and the head rests on incus, मतलब next वाली जो हमारी ऑसिकल आ जाएगी। इनकस लोकेशन is the second bone of the ear ossicle located between the malleus and stapes in the middle ear. Next is stapes. It is stirrup shaped and its base is attached to the oval window. Collectively ear ossicle का function, the three ossicle form a leverage system. They amplify the sound vibrations. उसको sound को loud कर देंगे. Amplify the sound vibration received from the external ear and transmit these sound vibrations to the internal ear. Next is eustachian tube. Location extends from the pharynx to the cavity of the middle ear, and their function, it equalizes the air pressure on either side of the eardrum so that it can vibrate freely. ये बहुत important है इसका function. Next is oval window, a membrane covered opening leading to the inner ear or flat part of stapes fits onto it. Function, the sound vibrations from the stapes is transmitted to the oval window to the cochlea of the inner ear, and this in turn sets the fluid in the cochlea to vibrate. Next is round window, below and a little behind the oval window, connects the middle and the inner ear, and function, when the stapes transmits vibrations to the oval window, the round window moves outward. This enables the fluid in the cochlea to move freely. Coming to inner ear, first part is cochlea, bony canal made of 2.5 turn and found in the lower portion. And function, contains the organ of Cotai, which is responsible for hearing. Next is organ of Cotai. Location on the basilar membrane in the middle canal, or you can say median canal of the cochlea, and their function, contains receptor cells which transform sound vibrations into nerve impulses. Next is semicircular canals, set of 3 fluid filled canals. 3 parallel canals हैं, arranged at right angles to each other, found in the upper portion of the labyrinth, and their function, contains sensory cells responsible for dynamic balance. Next is vestibule, forms the central portion of the labyrinth. It is made up of 2 sacs called the utriculus and saculus, and their function, contains sensory cells responsible for static balance. तो आपने याद रखना है, डायनेमिक बैलेंस के लिए सेमी सर्कुलर कैनल्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं और स्टैटिक बैलेंस के लिए हमारा यूट्रिकुलस और सेक्युलस रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. नेक्स्ट इज ऑडिटरी नर्व. लोकेशन एक्सटेंड्स फ्रॉम द इनर ईयर to the temporal lobe of cerebrum, and their function, transmit nerve impulses from the organ of Cotai to cerebrum. Next is basilar membrane, location between median canal and tymphanal canal of cochlea, and their function, it forms the base of the organ of Cotai, which contains sensory receptors for hearing. Thank you for watching till the end. Keep watching, sharing and subscribe to my channel, and this video is meant for only those students who want a centum in biology, which is not a very easy thing. Believe me, it is not easy to score centum in biology. Not impossible, very easy other than physics and chemistry. Don't forget to press the bell icon. For other parts, I will make another video. Thank you.